Dr. Shahira Abdullah.
Question 5.
Mr. Speaker, sir, may I have your permission to answer question 5 and 6 together, please?
Yes, please.
Mr. Speaker, sir, let me first set out where we are today before I share more with Dr. Shahira about my views on the way forward. Mr. Speaker, sir, today in Singapore, special education, or SPED as we call it, is supported by the government, community funders, and social service agencies, or SSAs. The SSAs have been delivering special education for children with moderate to severe special education needs for decades. Today, we have 22 SPED schools led by 12 SSAs. While full funding is provided for SPED, SSAs today retain substantial autonomy, including the hiring of staff for their respective SPED schools. MOE has been working closely and supporting the SSAs to enhance the career propositions and professionalism of SPED teachers. One major HR initiative done in consultation and partnership with the SSAs was the Journeys of Excellence package, in short, the Journeys package, launched in 2020. The Journeys package aims to strengthen the professionalism in SPED, as well as recognize the years of experience and service of many SPED educators by placing them at the appropriate competency levels and raising the job size of senior SPED teachers to more closely align with those of equivalent MOE teachers. MOE has been working with SPED schools to put in place progressive HR frameworks to support teacher retention and career development, taking a leaf from MOE's own frameworks. One example is increasing the number of key personnel positions in SPED schools to provide career advancement opportunities for good-performing SPED teachers. To support these efforts, SPED schools will receive additional funding for manpower costs in 2 tranches. One, which was implemented in 2021, and another planned for 2024. To receive the second funding tranche, SPED schools will need to implement more progressive HR practices and the corresponding increases in SPED teachers' salaries. SPED schools will determine the salary adjustments for their teachers at different levels based on performance and current salary structures. Beyond funding and working with SSAs to provide competitive remuneration and meaningful career progression for the 1,600 SPED teachers, MOE funds SPED teachers pre-service training in the form of the Diploma in Special Education, or DISE, offered by the National Institute of Education, or NIE. Around 7 in 10 SPED teachers have obtained the DISE or joined the sector with other recognized teaching credentials. For the remaining 500 teachers, around half are either on the current course or will be enrolled in DISE in January 2023. MOE also funds in-service training for SPED teachers and invites SPED teachers teaching the national curriculum to attend in-service teaching training alongside MOE teachers. In addition, MOE offers master scholarships in special education tenable either overseas or locally. MOE also works with partners to recognize and profile the important work of SPED teachers. The Outstanding SPED Teacher Award and soon to be implemented Promising SPED Teacher Award by MOE and SG Enable seek to identify and honor exemplary SPED teachers who are impactful and good role models in the fraternity. In addition, MOE has seconded MOE educators who have the passion to serve as teachers and key personnel in SPED schools. This includes seconding experienced MOE educators to serve as SPED school principals and vice principals upon the SSA's request. Currently, there are 14 principals and vice principals who are MOE secondees out of a total of 47 SPED school leaders. MOE is committed to partner closely with the SSAs in this journey towards professionalism. Mr. Speaker, sir, Dr. Shahira has asked if we will consider enfolding all special education school teachers to come under the ministry so that they'll be able to receive the benefits of being an MOE teacher. My own personal view is as follows. First, I'm prepared to work with my staff, the SSAs, and the community to explore different and new models. But I would set up 5 conditions for us to consider as to whether a new model is better and more appropriate. First, the new model, if it comes about, must deliver better outcomes for our SPED children. Second, the new model, if it comes about, must deliver better outcomes in terms of support for the SPED children's family. Third, the model must provide better training opportunities and professional development for our SPED teachers. Fourth, the model must be able to engage the community to participate and partake in the endeavor. Fifth, we must also have a model that allows a better continuum of care and support from preschool to school and post-school environment. So we are prepared to explore new models with the SSAs and community, so long as we bear in mind these 5 criteria that I've just laid out. And I'll be happy to have these conversations with the SSAs and our community partners on how we can take the SPED education sector forward as part of our Forward SG exercise. Thank you.
Dr. Sherry Abdullah.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I thank the Minister for his response. I think I'm very heartened to hear that they are ready to work with the relevant SSAs and organizations. Just have one supplementary question. Previously, they are still represented by the Singapore Manual and Mercantile Workers Union. I understand it may be because they may have been better adapted to handle this. How has that changed moving forward so that MOE can better work with the SPED organization and SPED individuals in this current moment to help retain and attract more SPED teachers to this vocation? Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, sir, I shall not attempt to answer on behalf of NTUC, but as the ex-Secretary General of NTUC, I would say that I'll leave it to NTUC to decide where best, which union best serves the interests of the SPED school teachers. MOE is agnostic, regardless of whether the SPED school teachers are with SMMWU, STU, or any of the other teachers' union. MOE will continue to work closely with them and also with their SSA organizations. Thank you.
Ms. Denise Pua.
Thank you, Minister, for the heartening response as well, and thank you for being open-minded in looking at future models. I just want to ask Minister to consider that the whole special education model does not comprise only of staff who are known as teachers. Actually, the whole holistic development of our students over in the SPED system especially, it really includes individuals like the allied professionals, the psychologists, the therapists, the OTs, the speech pathologists and so forth, social workers included, and other staff. So I think in considering and even publicizing decisions on salaries and benefits packages of mainstream and other SPED school teachers, we need to consider that the other staff also play critical role, and to also include them as we design future models and future compensation packages for them. So I'd like to ask Minister to consider that.
Mr. Speaker, sir, we fully agree with Ms. Denise Pua's comment that indeed the whole SPED sector includes both the people who take care of the education component as well as the care component as well as the therapy component. So indeed, whenever we review any scheme of service, or any benefits, we will certainly take into account all the stakeholders that are involved in taking care of our SPED children.
Kerry Tan.
Thank you, Speaker. I'd like to thank Minister for addressing the question, but I think my question 6 is about whether we are right now meeting the targets of having enough teachers come forward to enter the SPED sector. I'm heartened to hear that there are all these training schemes and even sponsorships for master's program, etc. But how are we in terms of meeting the targets that is needed in terms of the projections of the number of SPED teachers we will need in the coming years? And does the ministry look into what are the current pain points that's preventing people from coming forward despite all these very good incentives and training scheme provided? The other thing is I'm seeing this disconnect between, I'm a little bit confused, so appreciate Minister's clarification, because I understand the SSAs are coming under the MSF, but MOE is now taking a proactive stance in terms of creating the frameworks and training for the SPED teachers. So is there any kind of operational disconnect for SSAs that they have to navigate because of this dual ministry involvement in terms of the development of the sector?
Mr. Speaker, sir, let me address the 3 sets of issues that Ms. Kerry Tan. First, I think we have to deal with the quantity and quality of manpower. 2, we have to deal with the pain points that you mentioned. 3 has to do with the organizational structures that we have to deal with. First, on the first issue, on the quantity and quality of manpower, certainly we will need to do much more to increase the number of SPED school educators and support staff. We have laid out the plan together with MSF. We have intention to increase the number of SPED schools in our system. But I must say, I must share this with the House. In planning for a SPED school, the manpower needs are not as straightforward as a conventional school. Because in a conventional school, the needs are perhaps more homogeneous. Whereas in a SPED school, different SPED children have different needs and different types of needs and different degree of severity, which is why the planning is not as straightforward. We do have certain planning ratios, but we certainly will need and we would like to recruit more Singaporeans to join the SPED sector. Today, we do rely quite a bit on some foreign manpower. And just like any other parts of our education and care sector, we would like a significant core of Singaporeans to be there so that we can take care of our own people, especially the vulnerable, even amidst possible disruptions in the manpower supply. So we will want to step up this, and we do have a roadmap worked out on how we progressively increase the number of SPED school teachers and caregivers as we build up the infrastructure in the next few years. So that's first. Second issue is about the pain points. For many of us who have SPED children or who have been involved in the SPED school sector, we will know that it is emotionally very demanding. It's not easy. And so I have given guidance to my staff that we cannot just plan on the basis of how many staff we need for how many children. We need to have a bit of a buffer, if you like, for us to be able to roster our people to go for training and also sometimes for them to take a break. So that's one part of how we try to address the pain points. The second part is that we will also like to have a wider group of people who understand the SPED community. And even within the MOE conventional schools, we have our fair share of some special needs children where we need to up the skills level of many of our teachers to take care of the higher needs SPED children in our normal schools. And that is why we have a system to roster some of our teachers to the SPED school to cross-share experiences so that we can take better care of the SPED children in our normal school, and yet at the same time allow some of the SPED school teachers some time to go for their own training and perhaps to be rostered out for a break in their long journey with the SPED sector. So these are indeed some of the things that we need to do. On your third point about the structure and organizations, rest assured that the two of us work closely together. We sit side by side on many committees. We have this model before, and we started this model between MSF and MOE, not just for the SPED. We did this for the early childhood education. ACDA is an agency that jointly report to Min Masagos and myself. And of course, I have a secret weapon to make sure that nothing falls between the cracks. And that is my PERMSEC Wan Yong. She is both the PERMSEC in MOE and MSF. And I've personally asked her to oversee the continuum to work out the models required to support our SPED community in terms of infrastructure, in terms of manpower. And I would say that between the two, between infrastructure and manpower, infrastructure is the easier of the two. The more difficult of the two is for us to recruit the number and quality of people we need. Having said that, we are both working closely now to deal with the most difficult challenge which we want to take a crack at it, and we think we need to do much better as a society. And that is the continuum of care from preschool to school and post 18 years old care and work arrangement for our SPED community. If anybody can do this well, it must be Singapore, because the SPED children come to us in the preschool. We have IPIC, we have the special schools for them. With the data that is available, it enables MOE to forward plan the school system requirement. And from MOE's data, we should be able to forward plan the post-18-year requirement. And we really want to do this much better. Our current gap, the biggest gap in my view, is not so much the preschool and the school system, which we have invested a lot of effort over the years. We can still do better. Our next step, the biggest gap, will be how we provide the continuum from the school system to the post-18 years arrangement so that we can better support the SPED community, including the caregivers who will always be worried what will happen to their special needs children when they are no longer around.
Mr. Pritam Singh.
Thank you, Speaker. Just a quick question for Minister in regard to his original reply where he stated that there were 1,600 SPED teachers, if I heard him correctly. Can I just confirm with the Minister whether that number includes the allied educators who are an integral part of the SPED system? Because as the Minister also shared, in certain cases where there's a gap, a cognitive gap for certain children, the allied educator could be as or if not more important than a SPED teacher, depending on where the child is. So just if the Minister could share that with us.
Mr. Speaker, the short answer is that no, because as what Ms. Denise Phua said, beyond the SPED educators, we have another group of people, which include the allied educators, the physiotherapists, and so forth, who forms the entire community. I can get you the number.